What's up? What's going on, people? Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for popping in. Bigger Ford Entertainment. I decided I was going to do a stream today. Um, because there's a lot of outrage going on right now, and we'll get into all of that. Let me just read the comments that are there first. Eli, who said, interesting how no one complained between 1993 and 1997 when a half Asian guy played Superman. Dame Can. People complain when a black actor is cast. Thanks, Magna, for viewing racism in America culture. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, there is the white people stuff too, but this is like colorism. This is black people thing, to be honest with you. Um, isn't Tyler Hey Chin or whatever his last name is Native American too, DQ said, or something like that. He said, just explaining who he is. Well, anyways, um, I was on a few streams, we were talking about the situation because as you know, Aaron Pierre has been Aaron Pierce, sorry, has been cast as the next Green Lantern. A lot of people are upset. Hey, Dandelion, how you doing? Hey, DQ, how you doing? A lot of people upset is because he's not as dark skinned as he is in the comics, and a lot of it they're saying is again colorism, right? Um, Now, I will honestly say 100% that Hollywood does have a problem with it. It's had a problem with it. I grew up in the time where colorism was a big thing. I had a thing for light-skinned girls because of colorism, right? Where I was Apollonia, from Purple Rain. You had Vanity from Action Jackson and from um the Last Dragon, right? Sheila E. Right, and then you can go a little bit further, and you can talk about the Halle Berrys, the Jada Pinkett's, the Sana Lathans, right? You have actresses that used to always say that they didn't get roles because they were not light enough. So 100%, I will never deny that. I just don't think that's the case in this situation, right? And usually people call me on it because, they know my take on it. I talked about it on the OOC. Usually, if, hey man, you want to come on and talk about it? Sure. I don't usually do like streams and stuff like this, but I had to because I didn't get everything that I wanted to say out last night when I was talking about it. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just bring it up too. And the one of the main reasons why I did it is because it's like, usually it's an internet thing, YouTube thing, Twitter thing, stuff like that. People talking, getting upset with the outrage. But then I seen it on this channel, which, if you guys don't know, this is Dr. Richard Ritchie, right? He's down with the Young Turks, and he decided to cover it, right? Because he's seen a TikTok video that I'm not going to play, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys seen the TikTok video. But anyways, I was like, man, I like this show. I like him, right? I watch this guy all the time. I think he's amazing, right? So I watch it. But when I seen him decide to talk about it, I was like, okay, now we gotta really have a real true discussion about this because I get it. He's not as dark as you wanted him to be, right? But why couldn't it just be that the best man actually got the job? It got the job, right? The best man for the job got the job. As you see here in the picture, there's one part where we're talking about these were the final two candidates, right? Him and the other guy whose name is Stephen James, right? They ended up going with Aaron, right? Now, when I seen Aaron in Rebel Ridge, who I've never knew about him before that movie, I was like, damn, this guy's a good actor. And second, I was like, oh, he could actually play Jonathan Stewart. Like I seen it, right? So yes, again, he's not as dark, but if you read the comics, there's sometimes he's drawn really dark, there's sometimes he's drawn a little bit light skin, right? Everybody wants to talk about the colorism in Hollywood, and Hollywood has the colorism. And I know I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself when I'm saying I understand that there is colorism in there, but at the same time, it's different now, right? If you just go and do a Google search, right? Just do a Google search, simple Google search, and put black actors, right? you are going to see that there are way more black actors than light skinned actors, right? You just have to do a Google search. Um, I'm actually gonna show it. Hold on. Let me share my screen here real quick. This one. There we go. So you could just go through it. Just go through the pages, and these are prominent black actors, right? Actors, right? You got your Shamar Moores, you got your Michael Ealy's in there, but when you really look on it, Morgan Freeman, Idris Elba, um, this guy I can't remember his name. So there's a lot more black actors than in Hollywood. But again, we're talking about colorism, right? So first, let me get to some of these comments real quick. Dandelion said, "I hope you're doing well. I'm at work, so I can't stay. No problem." There's a different version of Stewart. Tim Duncan is not the goat. Ha ha ha. We're not talking about that now, but he's my goat. Um, I like to see a diversity of actors portraying characters. Pick an actor who gives a compelling performance. Um, you ain't watched Tim Duncan. Cut it out. Okay, whatever. Oh, what up, T? I agree on the fake outrage. Much ado about nothing. Cavill is set. I know, set to play Voltron. Hey, Tamika, what's up? White actors, no complaint. No one complained when a brown-haired guy, Chris Evans, played a blonde. Okay, so this is what I want to say too, right? And yes, I did watch Tim Duncan from the earlier skit. This is what I want to say, right? And I'll say this quick because the white people are laughing at us, right? 100%. It's like we're getting a black character. And when I say the white people, I'm talking about the channels that we know about, the geeks and gamers, the Ryan Kennels, you know what I mean? We are doing their job for them, right? Because they're like, oh, look, you guys are getting a Green Lantern. You're getting a great black actor playing Green Lantern, but you're upset because he's not as dark as he was in a fictional comic book, right? Now, everybody so far that I have talked to said they think he is going to kill it. I think he's going to kill it in the role as well. 100%. He is going to do great. But people are not hearing that part. The only part they are hearing and the only part they are talking about is the fact that everybody is upset that he is not as black as he is in the comic book. So what we are doing is we are taking away from this guy who probably is going to excel because of this role. But all we are complaining about is the fact that he is not as dark as he is in the comic. That is what's bothering me, right? You can be upset 100%. You can. But we need to start to stand together on a lot of these situations, right? Because you have people on Twitter now calling one of my friends, Sagi, saying she is not black because she's a light skinned girl, right? A woman. Shouldn't call her a girl, right? That's what and that's it's division. This is what happening. It's division, right? It's another way to divide us again, right? Because we are complaining about the wrong things. And this is how I feel about it. This is not what we should be complaining about. We should sit because when it's all said and done and this show comes out and he does a good job, no one is going to talk about the fact that he is not as dark as he should be. That argument is gonna be done. It's been done, right? People complained about Jonathan Majors when he was playing Kang, right? Kang's not black, he's white. Boom, he killed the role. There was no more talk about that. You had Jim Gordon in the Batman. Oh no, we got another race band, blah, 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 blah. He killed the role. Nobody talks about that. So it's going to be the same darn thing that happens with this show right now, if it's good. If it's not good, then a lot of people are going to have an issue. I can say that. Oh, you should have got this guy, you should have got that way, or whatever. Um, I feel like colorism with women actors is way more prevalent than it is with the black men actors. 100%. I agree with you. It is, right? For the women. Yep, said totally agree. Mushmouth, Tether, Babel, the American obsession is real. You see, that's what I'm saying. I get it. And then you said fake outrage for sure. I think it's low self esteem. Um, Colorism is real, but I think he's a good pick. I like Aaron Pierre. I get what people are saying. Two things can be true. So yes, two things can be true. 100%. You can be upset about him not being but I'm going to show something because people like to say this is the history of Hollywood, right? Oh, this is what they do. And again, I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself because I know that they do, but I don't think it's as bad anymore as they say it is. I'm going to show you guys something in a minute. Now, you simply don't understand racism in American media. And if the argument is going to be done, then why are you complaining? Um, Aaron Pierre is the DCU John Stewart come to life. Just incredible casting. I agree with you, Superwise, 100%. People will complain no matter what. Absolutely. So I wanted to just bring up some things real quick, right? Because I got a few pictures. You know what I do when I do my stuff here? I like to bring some things to people's attention as well, right? Okay. So let me who am I gonna start with? Okay, so we're gonna start with let me share my screen real quick. Sorry about that. Just give me a second. Because, like I said, I know at the end of the day, it is like thing that Hollywood does. But we've had castings in 2021 where we had Monica Rambeau, where she's dark skinned in the comic and she's dark skinned in the movie, right? We also had the Dora Melange, who are dark skinned in the comic books and they're dark skinned in the movies. That was in 2018. In 2021, we had Bloodsport, who is dark skinned in the comics and he's dark skinned in the movie. And to be honest with you, looks a little darker in real life there, right? But 2028, 2008, we had Nick Fury. Now I get it when they changed Nick Fury, they did change him to look like Samuel Jackson, but they got Samuel Jackson in the role, right? We had Luke Cage in 2016. He's dark skinned in the comic. He is dark skinned in the show. We have Rhodey. Rhodey, 2010. He is dark skinned in the comic. He is dark skinned in the show. Do you guys see where I'm getting at? 2014. He is dark skinned Falcon in the comic, and he is dark skinned in real life. Amanda Waller is the same thing. Dark skin in real life, dark skin in the comic. Bushmaster, dark skin in the comic, dark skin in the show. All right. So, what I'm trying to show here is that you're getting the representation, right? You're getting certain representation. That is the reason why I think that this casting was more about who was the better actor for the job. That's why I think that's why he was cast as it. Um, we also have you'll say because I heard arguments will say, well, how is Marvel or these properties, how are they treating these characters? I 100% agree. If you think they're treating these characters in a certain way or in a bad way, that's a different argument. We can have that discussion 100%, right? Elihu-Who said dark black lightning. I have him here. I have him here. Where are you? Oh, I was supposed to have him there. But yes, Black Lightning, right? Isaiah Bradley, Cottonmouth, right? We even have Steel, right? Now you had that trashy ass Shaq Steel, but you also have the Steel in Superman and Lois, which was cast in 2021, and he's a dark skinned brother. Okay. So my point is everybody is ignoring all the times they get it right, but we're just going on this one time that is not as accurate as you want it to be, right? We have got these characters the way some of these characters the way they should be. Now, as I was saying, I know there's an argument that's like, well, they're not main characters, right? These are mostly side characters. Well, you had Blade, right? We have T'Challa. Well, whenever they get back to T'Challa, and that's a different argument, right? And Blade, the new one, if it ever comes out, is going to be a dark skinned black guy, which hopefully you can build a great franchise around, right? You get T'Challa back, you can do another franchise around him, right? So those are main characters. Now, I was watching the Spoiler Kings last night, and Brian was talking about that there's only like 19 black characters. That's the problem, right? You only have 19 black characters. So, yes, that is an issue. That needs to change. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to explain to people is that we really need to we really need to start embracing some of these things as well. You know what I mean? Like, we really need to start understanding that, hey, it's not always going to be what you want to, but at the same time, we can't shit on someone because, he's not the right complexion. He's still a black man. He's still getting paid, right? And he still may get to do bigger and better things, right? Have you seen that with T said, my argument to combat all the colonized is that there are no light skinned black characters at all. Every black character is colored the exact same shade. It's crazy to even have this convo. I agree with you 100%, right? You'll get little, maybe darker shades of brown or or lighter blade, but yes, they're all colored the same way. And that's because they wanted to distinguish in the comic books that these were black characters. That's why they did that, right? And you are absolutely correct. What is the issue if you get a little light skinned brother to decide to play the role? You know what I mean? Here it is, Black Lightning. Again, casted in 2018, and he was casted as a dark skinned black man. And that show is absolutely great. Great. It was a really good show. I'm just got mad it didn't last as long. Right. When Jason Momoa was cast as Aquaman, the white people them didn't run around crying about he doesn't look like he does in the comics, right? This is a YouTube social media thing. People in the real world, the normies, are not going to give a damn. I proved it on my show. I asked my co host, Roberto. He didn't even know who Jon Stewart was, right? So, and he's watched superhero movies. Not like he's not into them. He watched them. He doesn't watch them all, but he watches some of them. So it's not like he's going to care whether he's darker skin or lighter skin. And a lot of the normies are not going to care, right? Is it a good movie? Is it Jon Stewart? Let's go see it, right? Let's watch the show. All right. So that's how I feel about it. And like I said, you can be upset. We can. But I think the main focus we should be focusing on is that this man, this young brother, is hopefully going to do something special, right? When they did the casting call, right? It's said James Gunn, they did auditions, right? It's not like they just said, "Hey, we're going to hire you." They did auditions, and they had a lighter skinned brother and a darker skinned brother, and they went with the lighter skinned brother because I think he did the better job. And after watching him in Ridge, I definitely don't see why he wouldn't be the perfect man for the job. You know, he said, yes, they did. Said they also complained about Chris Evans as Cap. Um, Complained about Sam Jackson as Fury. But you see, here's the thing with Sam Jackson as Fury. Sam Jackson as Fury was changed black in the comic way before he was casted in the MCU. I loved Black Lightning. So did I. All right. Still complaining. Sam Wilson is Captain America, period. Definitely not wrong. I agree with your statement that we should be celebrating that Jon Stewart will be elevated to mainstream A-list status. Aaron Starr in the making and simply the best pick. Right. And this is what they do, right? It's his turn. Um, Nate, Nate, the guy that did slipping my mind. Anyways, he was up for it, right? And then he dropped the ball. Well, he didn't drop the ball. They had those fake sex allegations or whatever against him. Then Jonathan Majors was the next one up for grabs. Jonathan Majors had that stuff that happened to him. Now we have Aaron. Aaron's going to be the next guy up, right? Hopefully he does good because I've seen his acting and I think it's great. He's not Jonathan Majors for me at absolutely not. But at the same time, man, Nate Parker, that's it. Thank you, thank you. But at the same time, we're gonna get Jon Stewart, and we're probably gonna get him in the movies, live action, and everything. So for me, at the end of the day, that's all I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate the fact that we're getting a Jon Stewart. And not to mention the fact, like I said, that a lot of these actors that they're getting and giving chances to are people that I didn't know who this guy was before I seen Rebel Ridge. I didn't know who Monica Rambeau was before I seen WandaVision, right? I didn't know who she was. I maybe have seen her in some things and didn't realize it, maybe a small role or whatever, but I didn't know them. Now I know them, right? Their names now. And that's what's the best part about this is that he's going to be a name. Now, if the show is crap, it could possibly kill a career, right? But I think he's a good enough actor that he can bounce back. You know what I mean? Jonathan Majors is a good enough actor that he could have bounced back, right? So that's my argument with this. I think at the end of the day, like I've said many times, yes, I do believe that Hollywood does have certain issues with casting it. And like T said, it's usually more with women than it is with men. I agree with that. But, nobody complained when Bel Air came on and they casted a dark skinned man as Uncle Phil when he's been a light skinned man in the show. Wouldn't that be a form of colorism, right? If you want to put it that way, right? Because it works both ways, right? It works both ways. Well, why didn't you get a light skinned Uncle Phil, right? There's a lot of light skinned actors out there that could have done the job, right? Or maybe he was just the best person for the job. That's all I'm saying, right? You do not know the actress who plays Monica Rambeau's name. Why you capping? No, but I'm saying Monica Rambeau because, everybody knows her as that, right? But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I lost my train of thought. All I'm saying at the end of the day is, it's like we sit there and we argue about certain things, and everybody's go-to is usually Halle Berry, right? That's their go-to. It's like, oh, Halle Berry, Storm should have been a black woman, blah 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 blah, this and that, and I'm just like, I agree, 100%. I agree. But give me others. Give me other cases. I like to know the other cases that they've done that, because other than Halle Berry, I can't think of any. I really can't think of any. I'm sure there are, but for every one or two that you're going to give me, I can go back to this list that I have here and give you three or four or five that have been casted correctly. Right. And I didn't even get into the race bending stuff, right? Because I know that's a totally different topic. But if you really think on it, Black Adam, they actually gave us a black Hawkman, right? They could have and a dark skinned one too. They could have simply said, well, you know what? We're gonna make him a light skinned one, right? We don't want him too black. If it's about colorism, we'll make him a light skinned one. you know? But no, they went full on black man, full on dark skinned brother, right? This pasty white man who you see in the picture was turned into a chocolate dark skinned brother, right? If it was really about colorism, well, let's make him light skinned. At least that's more appealing to people, right? Or is it because The Rock is kind of light skinned, so you can't have two light skinned dudes in a movie? Is that it? I don't know. But at the end of the day, black brothers are getting paid and they're getting out there, right? I don't care how they're doing it. And I don't have an issue with the race bending. You all know that. Whoever follow me, they know that I don't have a problem with it. And I'll tell you why. I did grow up with comic books, right? I used to go to the comic book shop every day. Comic books were 25 cents, bro. You understand? Right? You could go to the bin and get comics for 25 cents. From 25 cents to a dollar 25. You could get them, comic books. So I was also around when the decline of comic books happened. And as I got older, I moved away from the comic books, right? So I think that yes, I still have the comic book stuff in me, right? I still love certain characters, but I don't have that strong connection to them where that if they're white in the comic book, they have to be white in another interpretation, right? And we have people who talk about that crappy ass Joker movie, and I've said it all the time. That's not Joker. That's not Harley Quinn. But it's like, oh, well, it's a different interpretation. So why is it a problem if it's a different interpretation? Well, if a race bent character is a different interpretation, then why is that a problem? You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't have an issue with it. I think there's other things that we should could be complaining about when it comes to these things, right? I grew up in a time where black people were the first ones to die in horror movies, right? Where I was watching movies where there wasn't even an extra as a black man in that movie. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna celebrate the times we do, and I get a little like proud when I see a black man in a prominent role like this. I do, 100%. Whether it's a race bent character, whether it's a darker skinned guy playing a light skinned guy, I don't know, whatever it is. I just feel a lot. It feels good, you know? I'm not complaining that Aegis Hodges is playing Alex Cross, is a lighter skinned man in his books. Um, is about to murder the cross show. 100%, I agree with you. He would have been a great Jon Stewart too. I agree with you 100%. I'm not saying there's other people that couldn't have played Jon Stewart. I'm not saying there's other darker skinned people that could have played Jon Stewart too. But I think they picked the one who they thought was the best for the job. Right? They did auditions, right? So you have to go and you have to do auditions. You have to do auditions for the role. Maybe he just wowed them, right? Maybe they and we don't know this, right? We don't know if James Gunn actually had a plan to cast someone lighter because if you look at who he went up against, it was a dark skinned guy. So I guess they didn't have an issue with that. So how do we know that their plan all along wasn't to hire a dark skinned guy and then this guy came into the audition and blew everybody away? How do we know that? We don't know that, right? And if you're looking for the best person for the job, and this guy comes in and you have it in your mind that you're going to pick a dark skinned guy, and then this guy comes in and blows everybody away, you're going to say, you're the best person for the job, but I'm not going to hire you because you're not dark enough. That's what they were doing to the dark ladies in Hollywood back in the day, right? That's what they were telling dark skinned women in Hollywood back in the day. You're not light enough. So now we're gonna tell this man he's perfect for the role, but you ain't dark. You ain't dark enough to play him. Sorry, that just doesn't make no sense to me. I'm willing to strut it off. Aaron is great. I can be happy for the actor and criticize the casting. You can. I'm not saying you can't be. But at the end of the day, I'm saying what we need to do because chill, like I said earlier, you just popped in here. It's they're not hearing the fact that people are saying, and everybody has said it. When I was on with you last night, everybody said it. They think he's going to kill the role. They're not hearing that. All they're hearing is that he's not black enough, right? That's where all the attention is going, is that he's not black enough. That's not where the attention should go. The attention should go on the fact that we are getting Jon Stewart and we are getting a character or a good actor playing this character. How do you think that changed? It probably has something to do with people complaining about the black guy dying first in horror movies. It could be, but you think they really care about what we complain about or what we think about? Do you think Hollywood cares? If they did, then we would get those Marvel movies that people want to see, right? They wouldn't be forcing things down people's throats if they actually cared what we thought. They don't. They care about the green. And if they can make enough money that it's kind of messes up the fan base or, upsets them, but they're still making $1 billion, so be it. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? They pick the one they wanted. There's no such thing as the best for the job. I absolutely 100% disagree with you. There is absolutely the person that's best for the job, right? You even have characters who people say can't be replaced. So for example, a lot of people don't want to see someone else play Wolverine. They're going to have to eventually, but people think that he is the best person for the job. People think that no one else will ever be a better um, Logan than he is. People think that there will never be a better Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. That's what people think, right? So because he didn't get the role of Hal Jordan, that's how we know. The best person for the job looks like the character too. Not necessarily, because, and I say this, and I know people, it's a hot take, whatever, but I don't like the guy that played Luke Cage. I don't think he's a great actor, and he's the right complexion. But was he right for the job? Absolutely not. You could have got someone 10 times better than him. So that is absolutely false, chill. That is absolutely false. Absolutely false. Because you can go and you can, and I'd have to think about it now, but you could think about characters who were, I guess, accurate but garbage. So that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Um, Said recast T'Challa. Yeah, I know. You recast. The trope changed, didn't they? Wolverine is 5'3". I don't get your point with that though. Yes, Wolverine is 5'3", and he's 6'1". What does that have to do with anything? People still think he's the best Wolverine. People still think that no one else is going to be able to play that role better than he did. This is just what people think. I don't think that, right? I don't. Will they get an actor that's just as good? Maybe. Will they get an actor that's better? Maybe, right? There's always there's always someone better than somebody else. It's just there always is, right? They may not be known, they may be known. They may not even be in the industry. They may be doing something else. But no one is better than anybody else in this world. It's just I just don't believe that. Are there some people who are better at things than other things? Yes, 100%, for sure. But as in general, saying like someone is better than me because they're this or that, I don't agree with that. People think Michael Keaton is the best Batman. People be wrong all the time. Michael Keaton is the best Batman. Well, I like Ben Affleck Batman, and I put him as the number one Batman. But I can definitely see why people would put Michael Keaton as the best Batman. 100%. Um, so find the Cage actor who is better. I can't find him because I'm not in Hollywood. Chill, right? I'm not in Hollywood. I don't know, right? I can pick people who I think would be good for the role, but at the end of the day, I'm not a cast director. I'm not one picking these casts for the movies. I don't have their vision. I don't know what they're trying to do, right? So it all goes with what the director, the writers, what their vision is, what they're trying to do with it. So sometimes that's as well. Said, I don't think we'll ever get a better Superman than Christopher Reeves. There you go. 100%. I agree with you. I think Christopher Reeves is the best Superman at all. And like T said, he doesn't think anybody else will be able to play the role better. There might be, right? But we just haven't found it yet. There might be. James Gunn is in Hollywood. I know he is, but I'm not James Gunn. I have no direct contact to James Gunn or anything like that. So I don't understand that. Dude who plays Jerome Saint from Snowfall could do a good Luke Cage. Yeah, but I don't think he's dark enough for people, though, Joe Black. You see, that's what I'm saying, right? You're picking someone who's kind, but he's not a dark skinned chocolate brother. That's what Luke Cage, that's what they want. So the guy you picked, I don't think he's dark enough, if I'm thinking about the same guy. Listen, I love Michael Keaton, but I rock with Christian Bale's Batman too. You see, now we're gonna get into a whole different story if you want to bring Christian Bale's Batman because he's on the bottom of my totem pole. Tamika, I'm sorry, he's on the. James Gunn could have auditioned 10 actors who are, but how do you know they didn't though? Chill. How do you know they didn't? Right? All we know is who were the final two. How do you know he didn't? Are you sitting there with James Gunn while he's making his meetings or while he's taking auditions? Are you there? How do you know that? You don't know that. You don't know how many actors went in for the audition. You don't know that, right? You don't know how many actors went in to play a different role, but when they got into the auction, he's seen them in a different role, right? You don't know that. It happens all the time. Actors go in to play the main character. It's like, no, you're not the main character, but you could be the sidekick. I see you as this guy, right? So that happens all the time. So unless you were there, you don't know. You don't know. I know because Aaron Pierce got an audition. So what? He could have been the 11th one, right? He could have been the 11th one. He could have been the 11th guy. You can't narrow. Okay, so even if you have it in your head to where you're going to cast a black man, a dark skinned black man, as John Stewart, right? Even if you have it in your head, you still have to give other people opportunities because someone may change your mind. And I'm sorry, but even though this dude may be dark enough um, to play John Stewart, he may not have been a good enough actor to pull it off. That is a possibility as well too, right? We can't just sit here and think that because they casted this guy that that was their plan all along, especially when the final two was him and a dark-skinned brother. Like come on, bro. Like for real though. You know what I mean? Batfleck and Patterson are it for me. Aaron's spot might have been the winner. Okay, but so here's the thing, and again, chill. You don't know how many people went in, so maybe they actually auditioned everybody who they thought they wanted for the role, right? And then he came in. We don't know this. You don't know it, right? You don't know if he was a last minute call, right? You don't know if it's because they seen what he did in Rebel Ridge, which just came out a couple of months ago, and decided, you know what, let's give him a chance, right? That's a possibility too. So you don't know. Maybe they have exhausted all of the choices and they realized that when they seen him, he was the John Stewart. Like you just don't know this. And the only people eligible of the casting opportunity look dark as yeah, but then you're limiting yourself if you do that, right? You are limiting yourself if you're saying, okay, I'm not gonna cast, and you can have that in your mind, but you still can't limit yourself. You still got to give people a chance, right? That's just like saying, and for me, because my name is Anzo, right? You guys know my real name is Anzo. When people see my application, they look at my name and say, this African guy, he can't probably even speak English. We ain't gonna give him a job. And how do I know this? Because I spoke to someone who actually told me that's why they didn't hire me. Right? So you have to give at least everybody an opportunity. He may, like, so you watching him, and you're saying, oh wow, he looks like John Stewart. He has the build. Oh, he has the attitude. He plays a military guy great. He checks off all of these boxes, but he ain't dark enough. So for that reason, we're just gonna knock him off the list. You don't do that, bro. You don't do that. The last minute call belonged to another actor. How do you know that? Again, how do you know that? It's not that limiting. But how do you know that? That in itself is colorism. Exactly. Exactly, T. 100%. 100%. Colorism only affects dark skinned characters? No, it does not. Because, like I said earlier, we have, and I know it's not comic book stuff or whatever, but they hired a dark skinned man to play Uncle Phil in the new Bel Air. So why isn't there no outrage? Why is there no colorism there? You're right. Does it only work the other way? Is it only because it's a light skinned guy? Is that what it is? Is that what we're talking about here? Like I just don't buy it. It just I'm not doing that. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not complaining about that. You know what I mean? I know you guys have your, you know, race bending stuff and your recasted T'Challa stuff and all of that stuff. Go for it. 100%. That's what you want to do. That's go for it. I'm not going to mess with this one because at the end of the day, I'm happy with what they did. I think he's going to be a great John Stewart. And I also think at the end of the day, when it comes out and it's good, all this stuff we're doing now is just going to be a memory. It's going to be stuff that people ain't going to talk about anymore. Oh, did you watch the Green Lantern? Oh, man, he is killing it, right? He's doing such a great job, man. That was a great casting, boy. I can't wait to see him interact with Superman and how that's going to be. And Batman, that's what you're going to hear. That's what you're going to hear, right? And again, I can bring up, because I know Chill, I probably wasn't there, but I brought up all those pictures of when they got it right, and we ignore all of them, right? We ignore every single one of them. We're not talking about when we got it right. We're talking about the one or two times they got it wrong. But since you're here, Chill, let me ask you a question. Other than the Halle Berry, and let's say this one, give me more examples where a black character in the comic book was cast as a light skinned one. I'm curious. I'm curious, right? And I'm being serious with that answer. I'm being serious. Like, give me examples, right? Because, like I said, you may come up with the go-to Halle Berry, one or two others, but at the end of the day, when you check Nick Fury, when you check Black Lightning, when you check about all these other characters, Blade, Falcon, T'Challa, like there's more correct than wrong. Colin is okay. That was a question I have. He said Denzel was too dark to play Malcolm X. Well, I didn't hear anybody complaining about that. You know what I mean? But again, when Malcolm X came on, I wasn't on the internet like I am now. So, but I didn't hear anybody complaining about it, right? And all the complaints that you hear, it's internet and social media stuff. You go out in the real world, you're not hearing those complaints. That was a complaint at the time, Jay. Um, yeah, it could have been 100%. It could have been. I don't remember hearing it, but it could have been. But after the movie came out and he got an Oscar nomination, crickets, right? No one talked about it. So, like I said, I wasn't. Hold on. Terrence Howard was more machine. Yes, he was. And what happened? He was changed to Rhodey, right? Who is a dark skinned one. So yeah, okay, Terrence Howard, but he was changed. And they got it right when they changed him. They could have simply recasted another light skinned guy, you know what I mean? But no, they didn't. They changed him completely. So that argument is irrelevant because they ended up getting it right. Give me some more. I'll wait. I'm not going to stand here too much longer, but I'll wait. Give me some more, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like you have an argument with it because, like I said, there is the problem with it. Like T said, it's more with women. You have a legitimate argument, but it's not always the case. It's not always that. It's not always that. We have a new over here. You realize the literation creator of John Stewart said he was supposed to be dark skinned, right? That's the integral to his character. Can you show your comic book collection, please? Um, no, I'm not going to show my comic book collection because I don't have a comic book collection anymore. But just because I don't have a comic book collection doesn't mean I didn't, right? I'm 50 years old. What am I having a comic book collection for? All right. I had it. I did there. I've been there. Yes. And I do realize that's what he said. But at the end of the day, they picked who they thought was better for the job, right? We are complaining that he is not as dark as he should be when we should be happy that we are getting John Stewart in there, right? That's what we should be talking about. Large Fishbird played Goliath. Uh, Ellie Bradley Patriot. See, I don't know those characters still, so this man doesn't read comics. Not anymore, but I did. Hmm? Age of Apocalypse, Hulk comics, Iron Man. Yeah, I read all the comic books. I'm 50 years old. I tagged you in a tweet. All right, let me see what you got here. Let's see what he sent me here. Like, don't discount my shit because I don't read comics anymore, right? Don't discount me because I'm 50 years old and I'm pretty sure I've read more comics than you guys can remember. I forgot more stuff about comics than you guys can remember. So don't. The second answer. What is this, Chill? What did you send me? John Stewart, co-writer Neil Adams, DC Comics, making the distinct color choice. Okay, I get that, right? I get that. At the end of the day, I get that. I get that maybe that's what he was going for. That's what he wanted to do, right? But when you really think on it, there have been other people who have drawn John Stewart, and a lot of them haven't drawn him as dark as he was supposed to be, right? So at the end of the day, there are different color variations of John Stewart. Like, what are we talking about here? We're okay. So again, I'm still waiting for because you're calling out colorism. I'm still waiting for more examples of when they did that, other than Holly Berry. Right? I'm still waiting for more examples. The names you're giving me, I don't know. Chill. Um, I think he said they picked who they thought was best for the job. That's what I'm saying, Mike. Of course they did. Every black character ever created in the comics is a dark skinned character. Exactly, T. Bruh, John is dark as fucking 90% of his appearances. And in some of them, he's a little bit lighter, right? I'm not denying the fact that he's dark. What I'm trying to tell you is that he's not always drawn the same way. So let me go. John Stewart. Uh, share my images. Uh, because now, when we're talking about really dark skinned brothers, right? When we're talking about really dark skinned brothers, give me a second. I'm talking about guys like, Mike Coulter, all these guys, right? So, yeah, he's dark skinned on a lot of them. I know Chill will say the lighting on that one. Um, and some of those are fan made. Right here, this one, this Green Lantern, this color is not the same as this. They're not the same. So what are you talking about? These two are not the same. And I just passed it up, but they're not the same color, right? That one and that one. Are those the same shades of black to you? Huh? Because they're not the same shades of black to me, right? Now this one would be more like the dark skinned guy that was in the runnings. Damn, what's his name? Stephen James, right? This one more looks like Aaron. Can you tell me I'm wrong? Like, am I wrong? Am I colorblind? Am I colorblind? Please tell me that. Am I colorblind? Are those two the same? You know what? I'm looking at it now. I'm like, oh, you know what? The screen is kind of small. It's kind of small. You guys might not be able to see it. Let me spread it out for you a bit. Hold on, right? Let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Uh, go here. Okay, so it's not actually giving me the one I want to, but anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Here, this one and this one. Joe, you talking stuff. Everybody else talking stuff. You tell me those are the same color. You tell me those are the same colors, please. Right? He's been drawn differently in comic books, right? He's not always this dark skinned guy. Like, come on. I really can't believe this is a thing. Me too, T. Me too. And that's what I'm saying. It's like now we divided over the color of his skin, right? Because we're getting this, he's not black enough. What the fuck are we doing? Like, for real, guys, what are we doing? He's not black enough. Come on. James Gunn announced Rebel Ridge, bro, was the best possible John Stewart. So what if he did? I saw John Stewart when I seen Rebel Ridge. When I seen him and he was talking to Don Johnson's cop character in that movie, I saw John Stewart. So what's the problem? You said it earlier, Bigger Ford. They're all sitting back and laughing at us with this argument. 100%. Because we can't even get this right, right? We can't even get this right. I believe it is wrong to lighten the skin in any fringe example you show. But the comic books did it though, chill. They did it, right? It's not like James Gunn is doing it. They did it in the fucking comic books. Like, come on. You're right. Thank you, Tamika. James Gunn announced they hired him, right? I'm guessing they think this man can do the job. Absolutely. And people are arguing because he's not dark enough, um, Rogue. Um, we as a people look stupid. I agree. Yes, we do. We do. We do. We're doing our job. They don't even have to make their videos, right? The Geeks and Gamers, the Ryan Kennels, right? The Nerdrotic, they don't even have to make their videos because we're doing it for them. We're making the videos for them. Ha 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 ha. Look at the niggas. Look at the niggas. They can't even get this together, right? They're sitting back and laughing at the fire they flame by doing this casting. No, you guys are firing the flame. It's you, chill. It's you guys that are complaining about it. It's you guys that are making this about a colorism thing. It's you. It's not normal people. Normies aren't caring about this. It's you, internet, social media guys, that are making this a thing. When, yes, it has been a thing. 100%, it has been a thing. But this is not the case, right? This is not the case. When you can sit down there and tell me that he's always dark in the comic, and then I bring up something to show that he is not always dark in the comics, then it's like, oh, well, I don't like that they did that. You may not like that they did that, but they did it, right? And like T said, usually everybody's the same shade. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, for real, what are we doing? They do it with white characters too. They might. I don't know, but I don't care about white characters. We're talking about the black characters. I don't care what they do with the white characters. Yes, Gunn hired him. Doesn't make him the best possible John Stewart like Duke Lynch. But how do you know that? Have you seen him play John Stewart yet? Have you seen anybody play John Stewart yet where you can actually make the decision to decide that he is not good enough? Right? Can you say that? I don't think this would be I didn't think this would be a firestorm. Yeah, I didn't think it would be either. Um, why are we not allowed to complain about the things we don't like? You that scared of YouTube? Listen, again, because I don't know if you've seen from the beginning. You can complain all you want to, right? That is your God-given right. That is your right to be upset about it. I think, and I've said this earlier, that is the wrong thing to complain about. That's what I think. If you want to complain about it, go right ahead. Do your thing. Sub to the people that complain about it, enjoy them, and enjoy your complaining, right? But my point is, we're not celebrating the fact that we're finally getting Jon Stewart. We're not celebrating the fact that it's an actor who is a very good actor, right? Regardless of what you think, I think he was amazing in and Rebel Ridge. And to be honest with you, I don't have much experience with the actor. That's the only thing I've seen him in. But I think he killed it in that. So I think he's going to kill it in this. And the thing that I'm saying is, everybody that I spoke to, Chillmonger, I was on the stream last night. Everybody said they think he is going to do a good job. Their only complaint is that he is dark. He's light. He's not as dark. And I get that 100%. But can we start celebrating it? Right? Can we start saying, yes, we're getting Jon Stewart finally? Right? When the Snyder's cultist stuff happened, everybody clamored. They wanted Jon Stewart. They wanted Jon Stewart. Warner Brothers wouldn't let them use Jon Stewart. Now we're getting Jon Stewart. And the complaints are fine, but the complaints are only what they are highlighting now, and they are not highlighting people saying that they actually enjoy the casting. You know what I'm saying? But the right thing to complain about is other people complaining. I'm not complaining about other people complaining, bro. Like, what are you talking about? That's not what I'm doing. I'm not complaining about other people complaining. I'm complaining about the situation that's going on. You can complain all you want to. I just think the complaints are wrong. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, I get it. But that's my opinion. Right? Have you seen sure, so let's advocate for a character with a light skin. Jon Stewart is literally darker than the regulars. But what about the times they get it right though, chill, right? What about the times they get it right? What about the Samuel Jacksons? What about the Roadies? What about the oh my god, Anthony Mackie's, the Falcons. What about those times, right? They're all dark skinned in the comics and they're all dark skinned in live action, right? Blade is dark skinned in the comic. He's gonna be dark skinned in the comic and in live action. If we ever get that Blade movie, right? So why are we just complaining about this one and we have a bunch of times where they got it right, right? The Halle Berry stuff is a thing. That was over 20 years ago. Give me more. You know what I mean? Give me more. You can't just give me something that happened 20 years ago and be like, yeah, we're going to hold on to this, man, because they didn't do Storm right. Right. And I would say they probably didn't even do her right in the Dark Phoenix one. She wasn't dark enough. I get that. But things have been changing, right? Things have been changing. If you haven't known, Dark Skin Brothers are everywhere right now. They are everywhere. You know what I mean? So this one time that they may have picked the right person for the job. And here's the thing, right? And you guys, everybody, we all complain, DEI is this and that, this and that. That's why they did it. They race bent for this reason. They race bent for this one. And the one time that it's possible that they did it because they got the right person for the job, it's an issue. It's an issue. It's like, it just it's just, man, chill, you're missing the point that there are no black characters with a lighter skin shade. Let's have Meryl Streep play Harriet Tubman. Paul Mooney is clowning you from the grave. This is symbol behavior representation. Okay, so again, your stupid comment makes no sense, right? Because I'm talking about a black character playing a light skinned black character. You're talking about a white player, a white person playing an actual real life black person. These are fictional characters. I ain't walking down the street tomorrow and gonna see a Jon Stewart, right? Flying in the air. These are fictional characters. They don't exist, right? They're fictional fucking characters, guys. You may have a connection to them from your past because you were a kid, you liked reading comic books. Again, I get it. They're fictional fucking characters. Jesus. I said, sure, I understand. Every storm has been light skinned. Yeah, well, hopefully they'll get it right. I'm not saying they didn't do that wrong, that right. I never said that. It's era sure, like when they made Chadwick Boseman play the first black Supreme Court justice. Read the tweet. Now I'm good with the tweet, Joe. Colorism was originated from those who were not black. We need to get rid of this light skin, dark skin stuff. Exactly. And to make it worse, now we're getting the tether FBA stuff. And I'm like, don't you guys see that this is just another way to divide everybody, to divide us? United we stand, divided we fall. And we are falling. We are falling for their tricks, right? We are falling for their tricks, hands down. Like, who gives a damn about FBA and tethers? Are you a black man? Are you a black woman? Yes, 100%. Like, come on, what he said. Like, I'm just, I watched the stream and it had nothing to do with this stuff or anything, but someone said, this YouTube stuff and social media stuff is not real life. It's not real life. It's not. Go out on the street, talk to people. Half of the people you talk to won't even know who Jon Stewart is, and then the other half won't care whether he's dark skin or light skin as long as you get a good actor to play it. This is real life stuff, man. You know what I mean? This is not real life stuff. Nah, this Jamaican dude dissing FBAs. I'm not Jamaican, bro. See what I'm saying? Like, you're giving me these labels. That's what I'm saying. You're giving me labels, labels. I'm not Jamaican. I am not Jamaican. So I don't know where you're getting that out of. And I ain't dissing no FBAs. I am not different FBAs whatsoever. What I'm saying is the FBA and the tether stuff is there to divide. Because at the end of the day, we are black men. And if a police stops an FBA or a police stops a tether, they are still going to get the same fucking treatment because they are both black men. That is my point. See, you do acknowledge the difference. Got that ass. What? I acknowledge what difference? There is no difference. Like, we're black men. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're black men. Um, don't bring them up then. Don't bring what up then? If it's about treatment, we are black men, but you ain't Jamaican. I'm not Jamaican. And even if I was Jamaican, what does that mean? I'm not black? Is that what you're saying? I'm not Jamaican. Like, I don't know where you're getting that from. I never said I was Jamaican. I may sound Jamaican because I grew up with a bunch of Jamaicans. I got the slang, but I'm not Jamaican. So, and again, even if I was, what does that have to do with anything? For the Puerto Rican Italians in the chat, what's FBA mean? Foundational Black American. Not a race. Yeah, I know. Jamaican's not a race. Exactly. 100%. You see, T, you on point, bro. You on to point. You know what I'm saying? Right? So Mike, Rogue, for your information, FBI is a foundational Black American, and the tether is like, an immigrant, basically. Someone who lives in America but's not foundational Black. Like, their ancestry is not a Black American, right? It's just, so I'll tell you, like, you keep calling me Jamaican. I'm Canadian, right? Chill lives in Toronto. I live in Montreal. Like, I'm like 8 hours away from Chill. But because I live in Canada, because I'm in Montreal, does that make me any less of a black man than a foundational Black American? Right? Because I can say I'm a foundational Black Canadian, right? My family has been in Canada since the 1800s on both sides, my mother and my father's side, right? And if you ever know anything about the history of Canada, we're from Nova Scotia, which was originally called Africville, which is where Africans went so they wouldn't be slaves, right? The Underground Railroad went to Nova Scotia. All right. So what now? Like, what are we talking about here? Does that make a difference? Should it make a difference? It shouldn't. Black is not a race either. You acknowledge that you're not Jamaican, but it's not divisive. What? I never said I was Jamaican. I don't know where to get that. I'm missing your point. Anyways, do the people with lighter skin have different treatment than dark skin? How? Chill. When it comes to police brutality, no, they do not. When it comes to systematic racism, no, they do not. You know why they don't? Because they're still considered black, right? They are. Before colonization, we didn't refer to Africans as black. It was used to identify us. So you can say that you did not identify African as black, but they are black, right? Doesn't matter what you identified them as. They are black. They are dark skinned. They are like us. right? So that's just like saying, I'm a woman, but I identify as a man. Does that make you a man? Does that make you a man? Like, come on, man. We don't care about Canadians, bro. I don't care if you care about Canadians. You here, you watching, right? So it doesn't matter. You not like us. I don't care. I'm not trying to be like you. I'm definitely not. I am like me. And I'm happy that I am like me. And I love being Canadian. So what me not like you, what does that have to do with anything? What does your experience as a black man in America change with my experience as a black man in Canada? You think I still don't deal with racism? You think I don't deal with systematic racism? You still I don't deal with people calling me the N word? Deal with the same thing you guys deal with, bro. Police is the only thing I'll say that's different is we don't have to worry about police killing us, right? I don't have to worry about that. They'll beat the shit out of us, but they won't kill us. Lighter sentences, absolutely bullshit. Chill. Give me examples, right? Because you're saying this, but give me examples. Give me and you have to give me an example of a black man, dark skinned one, and a light skinned one who committed the same crime and one got less than the other. You'd have to prove that to me. You can't just say that out of your head and say that, oh well, that's the truth, right? You can't do that. Higher favorability. I say you're not FBA, I'm divisive. I say you're not Jamaican and I'm accurate. No, 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 no. You're misinterpreting what I am trying to say, bro. Right? The FBA and the tether argument is causing division because people are hating each other, right? You have the FBA disrespecting tethers. You have tethers disrespecting the FBA. That's why it is. Saying I'm not Jamaican doesn't make it divisive. I'm not Jamaican. I'm not. It's just like the narrative, what you're trying to say, it doesn't correlate. It's not the same things. It's not the same thing. American descendants of chattel slavery, a tether is a black immigrant who hates black American but consumes and emulates our culture. Um, I don't know about the hating black America. That could be possibly that could be true, but I don't think they all hate America. But again, this tether it just it's ridiculous on both sides. I'm not talking that it's only FBAs that are on both sides. It's dividing us as a black people, as a people, right? One nation under a groove, guys. Like, come on. What was Public Enemy and them trying to teach us? You know what I mean? We need to stay together. Right, Trey? He is going to kill that role. I agree with you. Pretending to be Black American is a tether. It's not just an immigrant. Um. Okay. So I'm trying to phrase this the right way. Okay, so it's not just an immigrant. You're saying it's a pretending to be a Black American. Well, if you're not an immigrant, then wouldn't you be a Black American? I've never heard those terms before today. Yeah, I have, and it's just, and I'm a Black American. It's not division; it's a lack of respect for on both sides. I agree with that. Yes, it is a lack of respect, but what that lack of respect does is causes division, right? You have people on one side hating the other side, and it's yelling and screaming and calling each other names. That's not what we should be doing, right? Why should it matter that I'm a black Canadian and you're a black American? Why should that matter? Right? Are you a good person? Am I a good person? That's what matters, right? That's what we should do. We have stuff in common. Do we, you know what I mean? Like, that's what matters. It's not this, oh, you're a black Canadian, so you're not real black because you don't understand the culture of black Americans. I may not be in the black American culture, but you think black Canada doesn't have a culture? You think the UK, black people in the UK don't have a culture, right? What are we doing here? American black culture is not the only culture, right? It's the one that may be most copied, I can agree with that. You know what I mean? It may be that one that is most copies, hip hop and all that stuff. Yeah, 100%. Tipping point. I agree with that. But we all have our own cultures, right? I'm no different than you because I'm Canadian. A UK man is no different than me, except if your name is Nerd Man. But they're no different than me, right? We're not different. And we got to get out of this mentality that we're different from each other because we're not. And YouTube can show you that, right? Because I can get on here and disagree with Chill and then get off the internet and be like, yeah, man, we great conversation, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Whoever that disagrees with me, we can even get a little bit heated and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we coming off the stream and we friends, right? That's what I'm saying. We gotta stop with we got to stop doing their work for them. We got to stop with the division. We got to stop with it. We got to unite. The Million Man March was to unite us, right? Nobody complained that, people were coming from Canada and other countries to go and be in the Million Man March. No one complained about it then, right? Were we not allowed to be there? Should we not have been there? No, we were, because it was to unite all black men and women, well, mostly men, of course, but because of the Million Man March, but I say black people all over the world, because your plight is my plight, right? When I see um, George Floyd, when I see Trayvon Martin, when I see Sandra Bland, when I see all of these things, it affects me. I may not have that situation here in Canada. I may not, but it affects me because I see what they're doing to my people. That's what I care about. What they're doing to my people. That's what we should be dealing with. That's the stuff we should be fighting against. Not if the man is dark enough to play a fictional character. Man, we gotta get it together. Priorities. Yes, we can complain. Yes, we can argue. We can fight. Okay. So here's the thing. Not only do we complain, right? We have to have a solution that comes with the complaining, because the complaining is just complaining. It's just the angry black man. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm just like, bro, like, I'm about, uniting. I'm not about fighting people. I'm not about it. I'm not. Any black person who extracts from the black American culture while degrading and maligning black people runs the risk of being called together. Well, okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that, right? You're gonna copy the culture and then you're gonna degrade it. But the white people been doing that to our culture for a long time, right? Who do you think is putting out the sexy reds? Who do you think is putting out the ice spices, right? It's the white people that are doing it. They're the ones that are running it, right? They're the ones that are giving you guys the things that they think you want, right? They're the ones putting out all the ratchet stuff. Where's the good hip hop? You know what I mean? Where's the good stuff about our culture, right? Why is it that we have to watch, and I know you guys may like it, I don't, but why is it that we have to watch 10, 15 shows like Power, where all we're doing is fighting, robbing, stealing, and killing? Why do we have to have shows like that? I get it, there's a place for everything, but we need to have a balance of shows where we're shown in a positive light. Pierre got Green Lantern because he nailed it. Besides, in the tune, John was glowing green eyes, and he has seen Pierre's eyes. I agree with you. His eyes could have been a huge part of it as well. But again, I'm going to say this again, right? Because we always like to go with what the comic book stuff is, right? That's one of the arguments. Well, in the comic books, he is dark skinned. Well, in this picture, he is, but in this one, he's not. I mean, this one he's dark skinned, but in this one he's not. So there's been different colorations of him, right? So why is it that they just didn't pick the lighter one, right? Oh no, we got to pick the darker one. Yes, that's the way he was supposed to be originally, John. But like with every character, and it's not just John Stewart, Spider Man, Superman, They all end up having different um, writers, different cartoonists, and they draw them differently. So complain about the comic books, right? Because they're the ones that have done it. You know. Let's see here what we got here. I'm sorry, but what? Have you traveled outside of the US? I don't know if you're talking to me. Oh, right here. The Black Identify was largely built in the US by Black Americans and is inspired by those. That is not true. That is not true, right? Exactly. You need to travel outside of, like T said, you need to travel outside of the US. That's not true. Where the Million Man was the were there a Million Man March in Canada? No, there wasn't. But what does that have to do with anything? Canadians went to the Million Man March, right? Africans went to the Million Man March, right? UK people went to the a Million Man March. Y'all just be saying anything on Beyonce's internet, though. It's crazy. We are not the same. Well, if that's what you want to think, right? If you want to think we are not the same, that is your God given right to do so. I am not going to conform to that way of thinking. That is not my way of thinking. I think it's a goofy way of thinking. I really do think it is. And I'm not doing it. I notice Canadians only ever want to unite with Black Americans and never Black Brazilians. Why is that? Who says that? Who says that? I want to unite with everybody. What are you talking about? I don't know where you guys are getting your information from. Right? I just don't know where it's coming from. You're watching way too much of Tariq Shahid or whatever that dude's name is. Watching way too much of him because I don't know where you're getting that. Go outside and talk to Canadians. Talk to people from Brazil. Talk to us, right? Don't just assume because someone says certain things about us that we're not doing that or we don't want to do that. I don't know where that comes from. I don't get it. And I mean, this stream is supposed to be about John Stewart. We're getting into all other stuff, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't get that. We should instead watch Breaking Bad with all of the robbing, stealing, and killing and drugs. I don't care what they do with the white people. They can do whatever they want with them. Because you know why? Because for every one of those shows where you see Breaking Bads, where they're robbing, they're stealing, and they're doing stuff, you have the good family shows as well, right? It's rare to none that you have for black people. That is my point. I don't care what the white people do. I'm black. They can do whatever they want to. I don't care what they do. They could have packed a medium brown black person. The current black identity and the language we built to address our circumstances was built by black American people during the Civil War rights movement and exported around the world. Navy, veterans, okay, whatever. So what you're saying is that okay, yes, we copy some of your stuff, but what you're saying is black people in Canada and all around the world had no culture until black Americans gave it to us. Stop that nonsense, bro. Like for real, stop that. That makes no sense. If I look through all of your videos, will I find one mention of black Brazilians? Um Maybe not because you can look through my videos. I don't have much and they're mostly about pop culture stuff, right? So I don't know where that's coming from. Like if I'm talking to a black Brazilian, I will talk to them the same way I'm talking to an American or I'm talking to someone from the UK. Like what are we doing here? Continued division. I don't know. I know you're not saying me, but yes, you're right. That's what it is. It's like now you guys are making like excuses for anyways, whatever. Seven this week doesn't exist if Stephen James gets to casting. This week doesn't if this is well, this week exists is because y'all want to make this out to be something it's probably not, right? Have you ever read Gray Green Lantern? No, I have not. What is your point? Um, they're mostly about Black American pop culture. I want Green Lantern to be gray. Okay. If that's what you want, then go right ahead. I'm not stopping you from getting what you want. I don't care. If you want Green Lantern to be gay, then I hope you get what you want, right? I think there's a place for everything in this world, right? So I'm not homophobic and I'm not any of that. So if that's what you're trying to get out of me, to say, oh no, a Green Lantern can't be gay, if they make him gay, what does it have to do with me? Nothing, right? They're going after a certain demographic and they did it. Okay. So good for you. Um, Now it's whatever. I never said they had no culture. You're projecting. That's what they say about us. I'm not projecting. I'm not saying I'm not projecting. I'm trying to get to your point that you're saying, right? I gave you the credit that yes, people around the world do copy American culture 100%, but we all had our culture. You may have had the culture that resonated with a lot of black people. I'll give you that. But I'm not denying it. So I don't know where this argument is coming from. I'm not denying it. Am I? No. I'm just saying that it's not the only culture. We've had other cultures. Bad faith actor here. Who, me? How? How am I a bad faith actor? I ain't contradicting myself. I'm saying how I feel, so I'm just curious to know how I'm a bad faith actor. Please explain. Please explain. Because you can go through my shows. Go right ahead. Go through my shows, and I say the same things all the time. I don't change from what I'm saying now. I'm not going to. I'm going to say the same things over and over again, right? My thing is, and I don't know, some of you don't follow me on Twitter, but I try to combat the racism that goes on that platform on a regular basis. Jill can tell you, Brian from Spoiler Kings can tell you. They see my tweets, they see what I put out there, they see what I say, right? So I don't know where the bad faith acting is coming from. I've always said we need to unite, right? And I say we don't have the type of leaders that we used to have when, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all these guys were around. We don't have those leaders. Black Panther Party. We don't have anything like that anymore, right? We should. We 100% should. So I don't know where like this bad face stuff and I'm this and I'm that is coming from. You guys are misinterpreting the stuff I'm saying, or maybe you're hearing what you want to hear. I don't know. The vast majority of Black people in Canada are recent innocent immigrants. How they build up a culture when they haven't been. What are you talking about? What are you? I just told you my family has been in Canada since the 1800s. I'm 50 years old. What are you talking about? Do you not know your history? Do you not know, which I said earlier, that Canada, Nova Scotia was originally called, and you can look it up if you think I'm lying, was originally called Africville. Africville is where the original slaves from, not even slaves, Africans from Sierra Leone went to, right, to avoid slavery, right? The Underground Railroad went to Nova Scotia, which is in Canada. What are you talking about? Like, bro, what are you talking about? You see, you don't know your history. And you don't know your Canadian history. That's for damn sure. And you should know American history because y'all know about the Underground Railroad. Google where it went if you think I'm lying. Google where it went. Google where the Underground Railroad led to. And they didn't migrate from the same places. I never said they did. But you saying that they haven't been here for a full generation is a cockamamie bullshit lie. That is a lie. That is not true. What are you talking about? You think black people just came to Canada? Bro, stop it. Stop it. Do some studying. I never said the people of the diaspora have no culture. I said they didn't know they were black because they didn't. It's okay to tell the truth and avoid self-victimization. So how would they not know they're black, right? Why would they not know they're black? What did they think they were? White? We know we're black, right? They came to Africa and took us as slaves. You think we thought they were white? Stop it. You sure ain't a truth teller. Good to know you're always being consistent. Well, what am I not telling the truth about? Does your family represent the majority of black? people in Canada. Bro, there was an African village, Africville. Halifax has one of the biggest black What are you talking about? My family doesn't have to. But you can't sit there and tell me that Canada just turned black. That's not true. That's factually false. And if you're gonna like not research I'm just gonna ignore it because that is not true, right? You think because my family was here in the 1800s that my family was the only family here? No. Where do you think this underground railroad went? Please explain this to me then, right? Because that's way more than a generation. So where did it go to? Where did it lead to? Like it's dumb argument, man. Like dumb. We can't unite behind the lies you tell. Well, what lies did I tell, homie? Please explain to me what I lied about. You notice he just be like bro shopping when he gets cooked. How am I getting cooked? I don't have to do this, but all right, because I'm getting cooked. Uh, uh, let me see. Let me make sure I got this right. Okay, got it. Africville was a close knit black community in the north end of Halifax for over 120 years. The city demolished Africville in 1960, and the residents have been fighting for justice ever since. Black settlement in Nova Scotia. Black people have lived in Nova Scotia since well before the city of Halifax was founded on Makuma territory in 1749. There are records of Black people in Nova Scotia dating to the early 1600s, and many colonial settlements, including Louisbourg, thought enslaved Black people to the East Coast indirectly via the transatlantic slave trade. In the late 1700s and early 1800s, after, anyways, like, what are we doing? What am I lying about? Right? What am I lying about? Stop with your bullshit and thinking that black Canadians had just come here, bro. Stop it. Stop it. I later said majority, as in greater than 51% of black people. No, they are not. No, they are not. What is happening? How did we get here? Because I just happened to mention FBA and tethers, and I think this went to a whole different thing. Folks in here just being ignorant for the sake of it. Exactly. And then they running around telling that I'm getting cooked. Like, what are you talking about? So let me read this again, just so you know. The city of Halifax was founded on the Makuma territory in 1749. The records of Black people in Nova Scotia dating back to the early 1600s. How many Black people you think were here? Three? Four? Africville was a close knit Black community. So there was enough people in Africville to be called a community. Like, what are we talking about, dude? Like, for real, though. Like, the ignorance is bliss. I get it 100%. But don't come in here and start talking bullshit. Race is a social construct that requires education to understand that Black American people have often been the educators. I agree it's a social construct. 100%. I agree with that. 100%. Because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. Black, white, Asian, whatever. We are all human beings. As of the 2021, there are 1.5 million who identified as Black Canadians. The majority of them are recent immigrants. No, they are not. No, they are not. Where are your facts on that? Send me a link. Show me facts on that. You're getting cooked. I'm 35 and traveled, and I'm definitely read more books than you. It's okay to bow out and say you're wrong sometimes. You traveled. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? You traveled, right? You think you read more books than me? I don't know. I don't know. But you tell me where I'm getting cooked. I'll wait. I'm about to close up the stream, but I'm going to wait for you guys to tell me because you keep saying I'm getting cooked. So where am I getting cooked? Please explain to me where I'm getting cooked. I'll wait. You guys got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to tell me where I'm being cooked because I got other things to do. I wasn't even planning on going this long. But Riley James and Joe Black, tell me where I'm getting cooked. I'll wait. What have you guys cooked me on? I'm about to light up my spliff for this one. Maybe you should shut the fuck up when you don't know what you're. Tell me what I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me what I don't know. Please. Stop telling me I don't know what I'm talking about and tell me what it is that I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, no, chill. No, 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 chill. No, no, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this. I want to know what I am wrong about. The number of black people who are of black Nova Scotian ancestry is the majority of black people in Canada currently. That is absolutely false. Show me your statistics on that. You're saying it, but show me your statistics. Hmm? Because do you know that there are 3 or 4 generations of Jamaicans in Canada? The same thing with Haitians, right? The same thing with Bajans, the same thing with Trinidadians, the same things with Grenadians. You do know this, right? And I'm talking generations. You know this, right? So come on, give me a link to the stats, Mr. Expert on Canadians. Hmm? Come on. Oh, wait. You got until this shit reaches 45 and then I'm outie. And then I'm outie. So I'll wait. Because this was supposed to be about um John Stewart. And it's went completely another way. So, but if you're gonna sit there and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, then I want you to send me proof. Give me a link. I'll wait for the link. I'm gonna put it up on screen for you. You know, Joe Black, you got it too. You can put the link up there too if you have it. You got until it reaches 40, cause I'm outie. So, anyways, like Chill said, as I was saying earlier, I am happy. I can't wait to see what he does. Oh, oh, is this guy they hired a good actor? Absolutely, Rogue. Watch Rebel Ridge, right? Because that's the first thing I seen him in, and I thought he was amazing. Like I thought it was really great. Like he did a good job. And there's one scene in that show where I seen it, and I was like, oh man, this guy definitely could play John Stewart. In every category, you admitted to being wrong and making concessions that you're poorly constructed. Where's yours, bro? Like, come on. You see, this is the chat. This is the problem with these kind of clowns, right? They will come in here and tell you that you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. But then when you ask them for a link or some proof to it, they can't show it to you. They can't show it to you, right? Because they heard this bullshit on some fucking dude's channel, Tariq Shaheed. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? Timothy Chalamet is a good actor too. I ain't saying he's not, chill, right? This is what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not saying that some of these guys ain't good actors. They probably are. But I'm just saying that Aaron was probably the best for the role. I mean, why is that so hard to understand? Why is that such a big issue? Why is it not possible that people seen him and they seen John Stewart? It happens all the time in Hollywood. You know what I mean? I can't think of any stories right now, but and then when I get off here, I'll be like, ah, shit, that's what I was thinking about. But there are actors who went into jobs for certain roles and they didn't get that role because the director see it was actually wasn't it Mike Epps, I believe, went in for Bishop, or it was either that or Tupac went in for Bishop. Not Bishop, went in for GQ, and they ended up giving him Bishop. One of the two, because they seen him in the. I can't remember what it was, but it was one of the two. So it happens all the time. No, he's not. No, he's not one. Oh, he's not a good actor. So it happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Look, the dudes ran, huh? 4 minutes here, and none of them could send me any proof as to how I'm fucking lying or how I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, this is why we gotta stop listening to stupid fucking internet people who think they know everything when they don't. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. But do not come at me telling me I'm this and I'm that, and then you can't give me no motherfucking proof about it. It's just dumb. Since we're talking about color, where was the outrage when Starfire wasn't gold or Beast Boy wasn't green? Uh, well, I know there was complaint. Yeah, you know what? There was complaints that, and Chill would agree with me on this. He complained that it was a black actress, but they painted her face. You know what I mean? So it wasn't really showing her like that. You won't always be the smartest person in the room. Keep puffing; those brain cells are safe. I never said I was the smartest person in the room, but I damn sure know I'm smarter than your fucking ass. Because all you doing is talking fucking shit that you heard from other people. You can't come up with no motherfucking proof to prove what you are saying. So whatever, man. You see that link up there? No, I don't see no link. Joe Black. I don't see no link. But you're also not a mod, so you probably can't put it in there. And you will never be a mod. So, but let me see if I can go to my channel and find it there. Hold on. Let me see if I can see it in there. Yeah, no, I don't see the link. I don't see the link. Your link is not going to save because YouTube only allows you to put a link in there if you're a mod. But hey, you got me on Twitter, right? My Twitter name is there. Send it to me on Twitter. That's all you gotta do. I'll wait. I'll wait. I don't want to be a mod, buddy. Relax. I thought you were smoking just now. Um, I am smoking. But I don't have to do anything. I'm not saying you don't. I'm not, and I never said you wanted to be a mod, but you weren't getting it. I'm just saying, right? So, but hey, there's other ways to contact me, right? There's other ways to send me the link. My Twitter handle is in the description box, so you could just go down there, click on the Twitter box, and boom, post me in it. You could do it that way. I don't fuck with X. I That's one thing I don't agree with you on. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. I don't blame you for not fucking with X for real 100% because it'll drive you fucking crazy. Like, right? Normal people relax when they get high. You're trying to say I ain't normal? Hmm? I've been smoking for a long time, bro. It takes me a lot to get high. Remember, I'm not a kid. I am 50 years old, right? This spliff that I have right now is indica. It's actually Kobe OG, right? I have some Afghan hash mixed in that, and it's laced with honey oil. I don't play with my shit, right? I don't just smoke weed, right? I'm a connoisseur, right? So, like, you think taking two puffs off of a weed is gonna get me high, and it's not. It's not gonna do it, right? So I smoke a lot. Just saying. Let me see if I got it. You said you don't mess with Twitter. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you'll probably see me around again, right? I know you follow spoiler kings and them. Um, you can put it. You know what? Here's what you do. All right, after the stream is done, post it. No, they will probably won't let you post it in my comments there either. Fuck. Um, normal. What do you say? Crush a bit, a little bit, roll it up, and take a hit. Hey, man. I mean, it's already rolled up, but I gotta roll up another one because it's almost done. You know what I mean? Like I'm almost finished. So when I'm out there cooking and making dinner, I will be rolling up another spliff and smoking at the same time. So anyways, why are we talking about my weed habit? Like you guys, I'm a blazer. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Sure, you smoke too. Sure, most of you guys smoke in here, so it is what it is. But yeah, find a way to get me that link, right? You find a way to get me that link. I get it. I'll come back on here tomorrow, whenever, and I'll do another stream talking about it. I will. And then I'm pretty much sure I will also come up with something to counteract what you're saying as well. I'm gonna follow you. Just because we need it today don't mean we won't be cool next time. Enjoy your day. Oh, hey, hold on. So other than Riley, because Riley was a little bit disrespectful, I think. But yeah, I'm right there with you, Joe Back. I like heated debates. And if Riley's the same way and where it's like, yo, you know what I mean? I don't feel no way afterwards either. Yeah, 100%. I don't take this YouTube stuff personally, you know? I like a little confrontation, right? I do, right? I like to argue. A lot of people do. And you're right. We may not agree on this topic, but we may agree on other things. This is why I say, like, it's just like the argument. I get it, and I get everything, but at the same time I'm just like, I would just wish, we could all come together and, like, yes, you can hate on it, but together make videos about how good the casting is, as well as make your videos of why you're not happy with it. We can do that, right? It doesn't have to be just the negative, and it's the negative stuff that gets the most views and clicks. I get it 100%, especially if you're going with the algorithm, but man, it's just not all the same. You know what I mean? So I'm like that too, man. I don't hold nothing personally with nobody whatsoever. 100%. You know what I mean? I ain't blocking nobody. People call me names. I have people call me names on X and stuff like that because I don't agree with them or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, if you can't have a little discussion where it gets a little heat in the argument and end up leaving, like, yeah, man, you know what? We may not agree, but it's cool. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. We don't agree in this situation. We got heated. But at the end of the day, we are all men here. We are all men here. None of us should be holding anything personal, right? You could say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I could say, you don't know what you're talking about at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, right, we should not be, oh my God, that fucking clown, that stupid. Like, after I'm done here, I hope none of you guys really, like, sit down and think about the shit that I said. Go on with your lives, right? Because I don't think about anything that happens in the chat afterwards, right? So, but with that being said, I am going to close it up because I've been on a little bit longer than I wanted to. It was a great stream. I thank everybody that came in, the ones that agreed with me, the ones that didn't agree with me. Thank you, right? Thank you for coming in and sharing your thoughts with me and having debates with me. If it was just me by myself, it would have been boring as fuck, right? So I do appreciate that. Couldn't do this stuff without you guys watching, right? So at the end of the day, peace out, brother, man. You guys have a great one, right? And I'll tell you this, do what you want to do. I ain't telling nobody not to do what they want to do, but at least let's try and get some balance, right? At least let's try and get some balance. For every one video that you watch where somebody's hating it, watch one where somebody does like the casting. You know what I mean? It's okay to be mad because you didn't get what you want, but it's also okay to celebrate the fact that we're getting this now. That's all I wanted to say. With that being said, peace, love, and hair grease, guys. And I will see you on the next one. The next one will actually be tomorrow night, midnight. I will be doing a From watch party. I don't know if any of you guys watch From, but if you're not watching it, you got to watch that show. It is fire. So I do that, and then on Tuesday I review the episode that I just watched with a few friends. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, guys, I mean, I got nothing but love for everybody, y'all, my people, right? Whether you may not think I am like you or not, I think you're like me. That's what I think. I think I think the color that we have, the skin that we wear, not everybody's your brother. I get it, 100%. But I think the skin color that we wear gives us a little bit of a bond, right? It's just my opinion though. Peace.